everyone, this is Hamish from SparksTrading.com, and I'm going to be walking you through a new web-based tool called Tickerscores developed by Visual Capitalist. If you haven't read the review on the site, check it out on the link on your screen or head on over to www.sparkstrading.com to access it. Okay, so what I wanted to do today is basically provide a walkthrough of the Tickerscores website and give viewers a sense of what it looks like, how to navigate it, and the kinds of information you can find or use on their site. So the first thing to do is head on over to the Visual Capitalist website, that's www.visualcapitalist.com, and from there you can spot the VC Plus menu option right here at the top. There are a couple of choices from the drop-down menu, but since we have to log in to access the features, select Login. Once there, you can see you can put in your username and password, and you can just hit Login. Okay, great. So now that I'm logged in, the first thing that I want to do is just go back up to this menu here and select Tickerscores. And as you can see, I land on the Tickerscores page. And so what this page contains is actually a couple of sections. You can see right up here at the top, there's the Tickerscores updates. So you can see what sections they have and what updates they've made over the last few days. You can see the total number of companies covered. There's a search functionality here in the middle. There's some tutorials and a changelog, which provides updates of the different changes that they've made and the dates that those changes were made on. Over here on the side, you can see that there's related Visual Capitalist Plus or VC Plus content, and also this is the section that we'll be focusing on, which is the VC Plus navigation screen. And this is where you'll be doing sort of most of the navigating through the different Tickerscores data. You can see that they've got a number of different regions of companies that they've performed. They've got BC, Mexico, and Nevada for now, and they've got the PGM, the Platinum Group Metals, also taken care of. So for today, what we're going to do is basically focus in on one section, and we will take a look at the Nevada exploration stocks. And we just click on that link here, and we'll be taken to the actual Tickerscores backend layout. Okay, so what you can see here is that the site is probably like a WordPress powered site, so there are going to be a few blocks that you can navigate around. It's best to kind of think of them as categories. So the first category here you have is the Tickerscores category, then you have highlights and analytics, we have a miscellaneous category, and finally you can see down here at the bottom the different companies that are covered by the Tickerscores analysis on the Nevada gold exploration stocks. Okay, so we'll launch in to the Tickerscores directly, and you can see here this first panel that's labeled Tickerscores. If you click on it, you actually get a PDF document that loads up. And as you can see here from the PDF document, it's kind of a neat layout. You've got the market cap of the company here in millions, and then you've got the project stage and holes drilled down here at the bottom. Let's see if I can zoom in here. And so you can see that the different companies are plotted based on their market cap and where they are in their stage of development or project. And there's a couple of things to orient you on around the page. One of the important things for first-time users or for new users is the actual guide up here at the top left. You can see that they categorize the financial health by the color that they use. So red is not so healthy and black is the most healthy. And so the different colors around the rings here signify the financial health score. The numerical score that's in the middle is the overall score that companies receive, and this pie chart that you can kind of see here faintly in the background is an indicator of the management score. So you can see here in their example they've got a quarter of the pie, so that's a score of 25. And of course the symbol for the company is placed in the middle just underneath the numbers in the ticker score circle. So you can spot a lot of opportunities from this chart fairly easily. You can see the companies in red are probably not doing well. The companies in black are doing better. So that's a pretty handy feature that they have here. Now, it's important to remember that it's not how high up a company places on this chart that determines the strength of the company, but it's their overall score. So as you can see here, the score for Carlin Gold, right here in the middle, is 63, and it's just a little bit lower down on the chart than American Consolidated, which scored a 14. But you can see both the colors are different, the numbers are different, even though the bubbles or circles are at different heights. Okay, so moving back over to the dashboard, if you click on the highlights and analytics section, you can see that there are 5 panels, and we'll move through each of these panels just to give you a sense of what each of them contain. The first panel is the companies to watch, and so again, you're going to get a PDF document that's going to open up, and what this contains is a number of companies that are featured. You can see here that there are in this case 3, and they also have a penalty box feature for companies that look like they are either in trouble or are doing things that are giving them a fairly low score. So that's kind of an interesting feature. If we go back and then we click on the power rankings, this is actually one of the handier sets of tools that people who are doing their research can work with. But what it does is it ranks all of the scores in order. So you can see here that there are 20 companies that are profiled, and they range from a score of 63 to a score of 13 down here at the bottom. And this is for June 2013. A couple of neat things to point out about the power rankings. They've got these change indicators to see if they have increased or decreased relative to the previous ranking that they would have done or would have done. And you can see that they've also got, if I zoom in here just a bit, this score change where you can see, for example, Nevada Exploration was previously 10th and now they're 4th. And they've also got a small descriptor here beside the actual company, and that gives you a little bit of detail as to what might be going on or what might have prompted a change in the scoring. So after the power rankings, you can see that there's another panel here called the burn rate. And this is a pretty interesting piece of research. What they do is they have laid out basically how much cash a company has or how much time a company has before it burns through its cash. And they've put it on a neat little timeline, which they call a slider. So you can see here it goes from 0 months to 24 months, and they've got an average, let me just zoom in here for you guys, of 6.9 months. So you can spot the average right up here at the top, and if you scroll down, you can see that there are a number of companies that would place underneath the average and a handful that are placing well above it. So, the companies that are placing higher up have a longer runway before they burn through their cash, whereas the companies near the bottom are at risk of running out of cash relatively quickly given their current spending patterns. Okay, and if we go back here, we can see that, to dive deeper into the cash breakdown, actually, just like the burn rate, is placed on a slider, and so you can see exactly how much money they have to work with. So you can see here there are companies that range all the way from about $3.5 million down to $662. So that's a pretty wide range of cash in the bank, and it gives you a really good sense of who's got the kind of funding available in order to work through some of the projects and commitments that they've already made, and who might have to recapitalize or try and raise money. So that's a really handy feature that they provide here on Tickerscores. The last panel is the management ownership, and what this does is it provides again another slider-based visual on the degree to which management owns a stake in the company. So you can see it goes all the way down just above 0 to just under 50% here at the top. And again, the average score is right up there at the top in the upper left, and you can see it's about 15% for this group of companies. So that's a really neat series of panels. You can see we plowed through quite a bit of information relatively quickly, so it helps in terms of cutting down the number of steps that you need to take in order to gather your research. And the next panel or category is miscellaneous, and what this contains is, I guess, the full report. As you can see here, if you wanted to download the whole thing, it gives you a sense of the size. An Excel worksheet, and this is great for the data crunchers and the Excel geeks out there, because what they do is they actually list all of this information in column format, so you can sort it according to what you feel is the most important features that you want to focus on, and also they provide the scoring criteria. So that's handy in case you need clarification on how these numbers were generated. If you just scroll down at the bottom, you can see the group of companies that were covered in this list. They've got the symbol, the I guess ticker score or VC score here, and the current market cap. And then if you want to leave any comments in the beta test, you can do it below. So that's pretty much the overview of the Tickerscores tool. I think because it's a beta test and this is just I guess a glimpse of the back end, it's pretty likely that they'll change it around. There'll probably be some modifications to how things are laid out. But for now, hopefully this gives viewers a sense of what kinds of research and analysis tools Tickerscores provides, and some of the easy steps that are involved in getting some of that information. So I hope you enjoyed this preview, and this is Hamish for Sparks Trading, so we'll see you next time.